All right, so getting set up here. We said last time that we were going to come back to Daydreams again and work on this cute little butterfly. So there we go. I have already started with him, yes. Now, how did I pick these colors? I knew yellow and purple are across from each other on the color wheel, right? And then I knew I wanted some teal. So I thought, what color? Ah, the orangey red. So we're going to go with that next. So what we'll do then is pull these orangey reds and the teals. I have pulled, again, these are with CastleArts, and it's not the gold edition, just regular CastleArts. I have pulled Jade Green 106 and Phthalo Green, which is number 50. So that's my two teals, really any two colors. And then I have 17 Cadmium Orange, then Orange Lake, which is 16, and Red Ochre, which is 15. So light to dark on each color. And I went ahead and started, and I also have some gel pens pulled. But let's start with this first. So start with my lightest shade, and here you can see I did the outside, and then I did the inside on these. See how it's light here, but then it's light here and here. So I put on this one the lightest shade on the inside, lightest shade on the outsides, because I wanted you to be able to see the light, and I didn't want to have to add another color in here. So that's why I switched it to every other. So this one would be the light. I think what I did on this one, because it was so tiny, was I did the whole thing, and then I'm going to do a dot of the dark in the middle. Okay. Then on this section, I did the center in the lightest. Here, I colored around and left this area to be darker. There's no rhyme or reason necessarily to how I'm doing this. I just take off and start playing. So when you've got something like this, and I have another dragonfly that I can do in this book if time permits. But yeah, you just start playing with it, and it kind of develops as you go. That's why I went ahead and did one whole section instead of going back and forth. I wanted to play with that one section and get it to how I liked it before I went over to that next section. And then it's just a matter of making the two sides come together and match. And you will spend, if you're doing this on your own, you will spend more time going to my medium shade, just figuring out what colors go where. You'll spend more time doing that probably on the first side than you will on coloring. It just takes longer because you're doing that initial pass through of trying to just figure things out. And because I know I've got 3 shades in this color grouping, I'm still leaving bits of area white so that the paper will still grab onto that color. We talked a lot last time about how there's hills and valleys in the paper, and how it's only going to accept so much of the colored pencil until it's full. And this is a good example of that. Just making sure that you leave enough of that paper showing, going to my third shade, that it will still accept color. Okay, darker in those points and lighter as I come out. And you can see here now with this last shade how it's really deepening in there and getting that contrast. Here's that middle. You know what I did not do? Going back to the lightest shade, I know you probably already saw it, and getting this middle section done. Yeah, some of y'all were like, wait a minute, wonder if she'll see that. Yeah, I did. Just took me a bit. And then my second color. And then my third color. And I also, during this third color, did insides of my circles. Okay, didn't want to forget that. But as we've said before, it's not finished until you decide to no longer work on it. So you keep adding color. There is a workable fixative. Workable is the operative word here. You cannot forget that. Workable fixative that you can use if you cannot get any more color added to an area and you want to add more. You can spray on Workable Fixative, let it dry, do a fine mist. You don't want to coat the thing, but do you a fine mist, and then it puts tooth, so it puts those mountains and valleys back into your paper so that you can add more pencil over the top. Now I am going back in with my lightest shade because I feel like this needs a little more blending. Okay, and now I've got all my lights and darks. So now I'm going to go in with my two tealy colors, Jade Green, the lightest one first. Now there's only two colors, and I could have done just two colors on all the rest of that, two shades. So now I know I want to go more to that outer edge than what I did last time. Okay. Don't make it hard. Just get that color in there. Got a cousin Paula that came over today, looked around my craft coloring studio room, whatever you want to call it. She is going to be making her own little space as she enters into retirement. I'm thrilled for her. And so she came and looked over mine, and we had lunch today. So shout out to Paula. Thank you for that. Always just brings me joy to be able to share things and to help other people, to maybe give even an idea or two about how to fix up their own places. I know I promised y'all a video of my place, and I've still not done that. I am aware, and I will still. Just, you know, life keeps happening, and I just keep not doing it. So there's my excuse, and I need to just do it. Okay, back to the lighter shade, just because some of this could use a little more blending. And see, these were opposite colors on the color wheel, so we know that opposites are always going to look well together. So I knew going into this that even though you think those colors together, that's kind of bold, but it worked. So now I do have gel pens to come in and do maybe the body, but I'm not going to actually do that right now because then to flip the page, it would smush and not work out nicely. So I'm going to, let's see, I think I'm going to go on over to the other dragonfly that I was looking at doing with y'all. Let's see where that one is. Yeah, I could have had it marked. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't. I want to say it's further back in here. Gives you a chance to look at the book a little bit more again, even though it's close up. There it is. Okay, I'm going to make sure that's in focus for you. And this flower, I've actually saved one up here to do for you on another video. Probably do that next time we meet up. But I wanted you to get to see this gorgeous, I don't know if it's not really a dragonfly. I'm not sure it's really a butterfly. She does a lot of katydids in this book, so maybe that's what it's more about. But let me get all these pencils. I pulled Cherry, which is 27. That's what I've used along the edge here. Then next, 22, which is Scarlet Red. So essentially some sort of a burgundy and then a red. And then this is my yellow tone, Marigold, number 78. And then I went to this green, Phthalo Green Light, 51. Then over to Prussian Blue, 42. And then to Purple Lake Deep, 38. So you guessed it, I really just kind of did a rainbow here. So after that first shade is on, let's go ahead and do this down here too. I'll show you how I did it. It's really just getting a lot of color on the tip and then feathering that out, just lighter as you come in. So get that on there, and then lighter as you come in. Very good pencils. I really like this brand. I'd love to have the golds just to see how they're different, but that's not something that's right there for me right now. So I have enough other sets that I'm not in deep need of any pencils right now. So then I'm going to come in with the next shade, which was the Scarlet Red, overlapping, and then lighter. And this one I can go deep, all the way up to that little ruffle. All right, same thing here. We're going to take this and all the way up there to that edge. I'm really probably getting my fingers in the camera on some of that. I'm really trying to do a solid coat here. It's part of the reason I had the pencil up and down, was that I could really bear down on that without breaking the lead on the pencil. The more you lay that pencil down, the less pressure you can put on it. Back to that first shade. And it really causes you to color lighter and be able to get more layers in there if that's what you're after. And you can see how well this is blending. So get that on there. And then my next color is going to be a yellow shade, which for me is this Marigold number 78. And I'm going to bring this through the center here. Up through here. All right. Then I'm going to do the center here and here. And then while I'm over here, let's do this also. The center section. And then this, it's just, if you'll look over at the other side, I did from here up. But I am going to have to come down in there a little bit, soft touch, so that I can blend. Because it is a smaller spot, I've got to be able to blend in there pretty quickly. Because I'm going to be putting some green in there. Now I'm going to go back to just the Scarlet Red and get that in here. Just a little bit on these edges. Okay, just put that in there. And that'll just kind of turn to a pretty orange color. Then here, same thing, just bring that in some. All right. Then next, I do want to come back in with this Marigold one more time and just put some more in there. I know my lead's broken up in there, but I'm determined I'm not going to resharpen it yet. I'm going to go over to my phthalo green light, following along here. It's going to be darker here, lighter as I come in and overlap. Gotta get that lighter so that it will blend in. Then the top half here. The top half here. Lighters are going down. The top half on both of these. Lighter through this midsection. More pressure up here. Coming on around. So whatever I do on one side, I'm going to copy or mimic that over onto the other side so that my little critter is well balanced, right? Okay, here. I'm going to come down to this little thing, whatever that is. And I totally missed that. So let's come back in with this yellow, blend those some, and then put the yellow up here at the top. Back to the green shade at the bottom. See how far down does this come. That's still going to get some blue. So now then I'm going to go on over to that Prussian blue and keep coming on down in here. That lighter where we overlap. And then I'm going to do down in here some. I'm going to do here, lighter where it overlaps. Do you see how we're getting that rainbow? And really, we're not having to put forth a whole lot of effort in this. It really does just kind of build itself. Let's see, this we did. This one is going to go ahead and be all blue, because that's what we did on the other one. Then the next part, and this one shows part blue with some purple. So blue just a little bit there. It can be heavier in here and then light as we blend in to the green. And I see the time is getting there. I actually set the timer on my phone this time. I know, I remembered. Okay, then this is going to be blue. That one's going to be purple. This is going to be blue. That next little section's going to be purple. And then we'll be good to go. All right, so there's that. Then moving on to the purple. Yes, my phone has dinged off a lot, but it just is what it is. Doesn't matter. I've been glancing over. It's nothing to do with my in-laws or anything that has to have anything right now, so it can wait. So there we have our two-sided little critter. Now for the rest of this, I really think that I want to come in with gel pens on that. So probably not going to do that a whole lot right now, but because once I do it, then I can't work on the rest of the page anytime soon because the gel pen all has to dry. But I hope you've enjoyed our two dragonfly and butterfly pictures. And again, next time we come back, I will be working on this right here. Okay? And maybe I'll have these other critters done where you can see them. But yeah, this flower, it really is a real plant, and I have been trying my best to color it by the flower that I found. So we'll come back and do that next time. All right? Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Thumbs up, comments, whatever works for you. I am just thrilled that you're here, and I will see you all in a few more days. Bye.